Welcome to evening yoga and prayer. I'm so glad to see you on this Easter evening at All Souls Church. And we're very glad to be able to join with you, our far-flung All Souls community, as we center ourselves in moving prayer. This is your practice, a time of calm and centering. So please pray, breathe, and move along with me and Tom, who will be reading the prayers while I lead the meditation, a short homily, and yoga. We're going to begin this evening by finding the ground beneath us. So begin by allowing your body to settle onto your yoga mat or onto your cushion or wherever you find yourself this evening. Allow your body to relax. Take a deep breath in. Allow all the body, allow your entire body to let go. Allow all the air to escape. Take another breath in and let all the air out. Take another breath in. Exhale, letting all the air out. Inhale, breathing in. Exhale, release. We're going to take 3 more breaths, and after the 4th inhale, we're going to all say an Om together. Inhale, breathing in. Exhale, breathing out. Inhale, breathing in. Exhale, breathing out. Inhale, breathing in. Exhale, breathing out. Inhale, breathing in. Sound of the universal Om to reverberate throughout your body. Feeling the calm that comes with the sound of the Om. And I feel that calm, and as I feel that calm, I think of you. And now I am thinking of you as I have been thinking of each of you this week, thinking of your faces and your smiles and breathing in your smiles, breathing in a sense of you with me during this practice. So please breathe in with me once more. I'm breathing in a sense that each of us is here with us together, as indeed we are in spirit. I'm breathing out any doubt about the fact that we can in fact practice together, that we can in fact be here together. Breathing in once more the sense of community that we have. Breathing out any doubt. Breathing in once more a sense of your place here in the world. Breathing out any doubt. Breathing in once more a sense that we are here connected to the earth, connected to this space on Easter evening, a place where Jesus has risen, where God has risen again to be with us even in this time of crisis, that God is here with us. As we are isolated, we are not alone. Tonight and today, our poem that journeys with us is a poem called Morning Poem by Mary Oliver, a wonderful poet who died last year, but whose poems continue to speak and continue to speak, I think, especially to people who find God in nature and who feel God reaching out and speaking through nature. Her poem does that especially today and during this season. It's a poem about darkness and light. I read in it, I feel in it, a poem about coming up through Good Friday into Easter morning. It's a poem about the darkness that gives way to daylight, about seeing a blazing lily on a pond, about feeling both joy and despair at the same time, and about how each of us, even in the middle of despair, must reach down into the beast of resilience that roars within us, a beast that sees the beauty that is within us and even around us, even among the ashes. We will read that poem later. Tom will read it to us, and then we'll move to that poem. And then each of us later in the evening, later in an hour, will speak the word of the poem of Mary Oliver's morning poem that speaks most to us. But for now, let's come into our first common breathing meditation together. So close your eyes, relax, take a deep breath in. And as you take a deep breath in, feel your spine resting atop your pelvis, and feel your hips resting on the ground. Feel that everything, each vertebrae, is stacked one on top of the other. Even those of you who may have sore bodies, whether from stress, whether from disease, whether from any reason at all, just feel the rightness of your bodies, the sense that each piece of you is where it should be right now, and allow your body to release and to relax into the ground. If you need some pillows, take those pillows and use them to prop yourself up. And take a deep breath in, breathing all the air in. Exhale, relax all the air out. Breathing in, taking a breath in. Exhale all the air out. Now place your hands on your thighs and feel the heaviness of your thighs and the heaviness of your hands. Allow your hands to really rest on your thighs. And feel the ampleness of yourself, the willingness of yourself, of your thighs to hold your hands, so that you are a resting place for yourself. And feel the gratitude of yourself to be able to hold yourself. Allow yourself to be a resting place for yourself, and allow your hands to find comfort in their resting place. And now imagine that you see a light, and that light is resting in the cup of your hands. Your hands are cupped on your thighs. The palms are facing up toward the ceilings, up toward the ceiling. And in the cup of your palms is a light. And imagine that light is shining in the cup of your palms, and now it is moving slowly up from your hands to your elbows. Follow the light from your hands to your elbows, and the light is lighting up your elbows. It's in the crook of your elbows. And now follow the light from the crook of your elbows up to your shoulders. And feel the light filling up the cavity of your shoulders. and glowing out from your shoulders. And now let the light go down to your feet and feel the light resting in your ankles. And it's now traveling up to your knees. And the light is filling up the entire length of your legs and now traveling up to your hips. And feel the light filling up your hips and now traveling into your pelvis. And the entire bowl of your pelvis is lit up with light. And you can feel the light, you can see the light. Have a sense of the entire bowl of your pelvis filled with light. Radiant, radiant light, golden light. And now the light is sitting at the base of your spine. And you see a golden orb like a soft sun. Not a brilliant sun, but like a soft sun, or like the pink moon that was out this week. And it's traveling up your spine slowly, this golden pink orb, traveling slowly up your spine, and the light is radiating out. Now it comes to your belly, and your belly is lit up with light. And now the light comes to your rib cage, and your entire rib cage is lit up with light. And your heart is suffused with this beautiful pink light. And it is surrounded with this light, this pink light. And is warmed by this light. And your entire rib cage is warmed and lit up by this light, this orb. And now the light is traveling up even higher, resting between your shoulders now. And so your entire body now feels lit up with light and is traveling up to your throat, into your neck, where you carry so much tension, all lit up with light, and your throat is relaxing and releasing. And up through your head and up now to the middle of your forehead, and it's now glowing, and now up to the top of your head, and the light is lifting and radiating out, and you feel lit up with light, and you feel a sense of God's divine presence living within you and holding you. And just sit and live within that sense of being held by God, of being held by this light. And take another breath in. And with your eyes still closed, set an intention for your practice tonight and your intention for this Easter evening and for this Easter week. And who will you be this evening? Set an intention for yourself in the present tense. Who will you be this evening? Who are you this evening? Mary Oliver talks in her poem about the beast of resilience that lives within us. She also talks about the lilies on the pond. Perhaps you are a lily in a field, a lily in the pond. Perhaps you are the beast that roars. Choose the image that speaks to you and say, I am the beast that roars, or I am a lily of a field. I am a lily in the field. I am a lily of the field. Or whoever it is that you are, say that to yourself. Set that as your intention and breathe it in. Take another breath in, breathing it in. Breathing it out. And settling yourself. And exhaling out once more. Taking one more breath in as we prepare to open our eyes. opening our eyes. And as now we will listen to our first prayer of the evening, Light of the World.
Light of the world in grace and beauty, mirror of God's eternal face, transparent flame of love's free duty, you bring salvation to our race. Now, as we see the lights of evening, we raise our voice in hymns of praise. Worthy are you of endless blessing, Sun of our night, Lamp of our days. Amen.
And now Tom and I will read together Psalm 114, taking each verse alternately. Alleluia. When Israel came out of Egypt, the house of Jacob from a people of strange speech.
Judah became God's sanctuary, and Israel God's dominion.
The sea beheld it and fled. Jordan turned and went back.
The mountains skipped like rams, and the little hills like young sheep.
What ailed you, O sea, that you fled, O Jordan, that you turned back?
You mountains that you skipped like rams, you little hills like young sheep.
Tremble, O earth, at the presence of God, at the presence of the God of Jacob,
who turned the hard rock into a pool of water and flint stone into a flowing spring.
Amen. And now we come to our moving prayer. So I ask you to come to standing or to stay seated and to move with your arms if you wish, or simply to stay in meditation. So come to the front of your mat. Come to the front of your mat. Inhale, taking your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands all the way down by your sides. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands down by your sides. And then we're going to do a slightly different beginning. We're going to take our arms all the way over and our hips to the left, and then our hands over to the left and our hips to the right. And we're going to take our hips over to the left again, our arms over to the right, and then hips to the right, hands over to the left, and again, and again, and then taking the arms all the way over in a circle around 3 times. And then going around in the opposite direction. And then we take our left arm up and our right arm follows. And our right arm up and our left follows. One more time, left up. Right follows. Right up. Left follows. And we're going to take a few Malasana poses. So we'll come here, still at the front of our mats, but our legs are still in slight V's, sort of in first position, or second position. Feet are out, arms up again, then hands to prayer, arms up overhead, exhale down, inhale, arms up overhead, exhale down into Malasana, inhale up overhead, exhale down into Malasana, inhale up overhead, exhale down into Malasana. We're going to stay down. We're going to take the right arm over, take the left hand to follow the right arm. Left hand comes up across across the chest, up to the sky. And then we're going to do this 2 more times. Left hand down to the right hand, all the way up. Left hand up to the sky. 1 more time. Up to the sky. Then we come back to center, hands at the heart. Left hand over, right hand over to the left. Left hand comes along the left, across the heart, up to the sky. Left hand along, right hand along the left, up to the sky. Right hand along the left, up to the sky. And then we bring our hands to our hearts, taking our hands to our head, bowing down. We come back up. Then we come halfway up. And then back down, pulling our bellies in strong, halfway up. And back down, halfway up. This time we're going to stay up, or halfway up. We're going to bend forward. This is where it gets tough on the thighs. We extend our arms forward. Now here you pull your shoulder blades down your back. We're going to lift ourselves up so our thighs are parallel to the ground. Lift all the way up. Bring our arms down. Hands come together. And now we're going up again in a circle 3 times around. 1. And around again. And around again. And now we're going around the other way. And around, up, and around, and up, and around. And now we're going to go through a series of Warrior 1 Vinyasa, and then we'll go through Warrior 2. So inhaling arms up to the sky. Exhale, deep forward bend. Inhale, halfway up, shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, hands down onto the mat. Take the right foot back, the left foot back. We're coming into plank pose. Shoulder blades are down the back. We're going to come all the way down onto the mat, taking our knees down first, rolling all the way down onto the mat. We're going to scoot our arms forward, taking our legs back, placing our palms together, our feet together, pulling our bellies in, lifting our feet and our hands up, and then bringing our feet and our hands down. Inhale, bringing our feet and our hands up. Exhale, bringing our feet and our hands down. Inhale, feet and hands up, taking 3 breaths with our feet and our hands staying up in the air. Exhale, come down. Bring your hands back to your chest. Draw your elbows toward each other. And we're going to take our trailing shoulders to come up all the way into upward dog. So left shoulder comes up, right shoulder comes up, left up, right up, left up, right up, all the way up. Chest all the way up, press back. And as we come up, to sort of counterbalance the deep back bend we did, we want to round our backs. So pull the belly in, but rather than just lifting into downward dog, let's round our backs, let our neck drop, pulling back into downward dog, and we walk our feet forward, deep forward bend, pull the belly in, let the knees go, bend the knees all the way down, and then swing the arms all the way up overhead. Hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, and as we inhale, we're lifting the spine all the way up to the sky. And exhale, hands your shins. Belly comes in strong. Shoulder blades are down the back. Exhale, hands back down. Pressing your hands down into the mat if you can. Bending your knees as much as you need to. When you bend your knees, you can really feel the hips, the hamstrings stretching, the hips spreading. This is all really good if you've been sitting in your house all day. You really need that stretch. So see if you can get that stretch right now, that spreading. And right now we're going to take our hands behind us, interlace the fingers, and draw the shoulders together and the hands overhead, and let the neck go, the head go. And this is just a really good way to sort of shake off, to let go all that tightness of being all bound up all day inside. And then we let it go. Inhale halfway up, pull the belly in, arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up again. Exhale, deep forward bend. We're going to take the right foot back, left foot back. We're back in plank pose now. And again, we're going to take the knees down. We're going to roll all the way back down onto our belly. This time we're going to take our hands together, interlace the hands, and again, draw the shoulder blades together. Draw the shoulder blades down your back, keeping them together. Keep your toes together, and then lift your hands up, lift the legs up, the thighs up, and then release. Come down. Inhale, pull the belly in. Chest up, legs up. Exhale, come down. Interlace. Up. Down. Take your hands back to your chest. We're going to do the trailing shoulders. Left shoulder up. Right shoulder up. Left shoulder up. Right shoulder up. Inhale, up. Exhale, and remember here, we're slowly sort of rolling our back. Neck comes down, rolling our back to get a counter pose to the back bend we just did. Walking your feet to the front of the mat. Deep forward bend. Pull your belly in. Inhale, hands all the way up overhead. Exhale, your hands to your heart. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, deep forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, deep forward bend. Take your right foot back, left foot back, coming into plank pose. Again, we're going to take the knees down, roll all the way down, thighs first, coming down really slowly onto the belly. Take the arms back. This time, take the shoulders back, shoulder blades down the back. This time, bend the knees. Take the left ankle, right ankle, lift the chest up first. So you're not using the legs to lift the chest up, you're lifting the chest up first all on its own. Then you lift the legs up, and then come down, chest up, legs up. Then we release. Chest up, legs up, staying up for a count of 3. See if you can come up even a little bit higher, watching out for the lower back. You don't want to pinch, you don't want to strain your lower back. Let your legs go down, roll down on the belly, feet come down. Pull your thighs together underneath you. Take the thumbs into your ribs. We're going to do trailing shoulders, this time starting on your right shoulder up, left shoulder up, right, left, right, downward dog, toes come under, neck goes, releases, and then you're going to start with your upper back. And you're coming into this very slow reverse coming into this V pose, downward dog very slowly, and slowly walking your feet up to your hands. Belly is in. Inhale your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, release. Now we're going to come into the Warrior 2 series. So bending down. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, we're going to take our hands behind us, interlace the hands, spine is long, bend, take your belly down onto your thighs, take your hands all the way up behind you, stretching your shoulders out. Exhale, come back up, pull your belly in, and then we're going to see if we can come up on just one leg. Try a little balance pose here. Keep the right foot down, come back down, belly down onto the thigh. Take the hands up overhead, press down into both feet, really hard, really firmly. Shoulder blades together, then take the left foot up, and it comes down. Inhale, arms all the way up, hands to your heart. And we're going to come back down into chair pose. Release the hands down, hips up to the air, up to the sky. Right foot comes back, left foot comes back. This time we're going to come down into plain chaturanga. Oh, actually, let me come back. Coming back into plank, I had a request from one of our practitioners to get some advice on chaturanga. So here we go. We're in plank. Pull the belly and draw the shoulder blades together, and then we slowly come down. The elbows graze the chest. Here we come, and then we swing our chest forward, gazing forward, coming, and we keep the shoulder blades down. So then our chest is passing through our arms, our gaze is up, keeping the belly in, and then our toes behind us come under, and our belly stays in, and we press back to downward dog. Heels come down, right hip comes down, left heel comes down. We take the right foot forward, left foot comes down. Inhale, up to warrior 1. Exhale, clench the hands behind you. We're going to come down into humble warrior, hands up behind you. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, humble warrior, chest comes down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, coming down into humble warrior. Inhale, up one more time. Exhale, hands behind you, coming down into humble warrior. Inhale up, and then we're going to come forward into crescent pose, taking our hands inside our right foot, taking our elbows down onto the mat, or keeping our hand on the mat. You have the option of bringing your knee down or keeping your knee up. And so you can go full pose, full throttle in this pose, taking your elbows down and keeping your knee down, or staying up on your hands and keeping your knee down, which would be sort of a good place to start. If you want to deepen the pose, come down onto your forearms and lift your knee. That, for me, is the toughest pose. So choose your option. Down on your elbow, down on your forearms, or up on your hands. And with your knee down or your knee up. And then we're going to rock back and forth 3 times. And we come back up, take the left foot back, come back up to warrior 2. To warrior 1, open up to warrior 2, come back into reverse warrior, back into warrior 2, windmill your hands down, take your right foot back, down into chaturanga, inhale up, exhale back into downward dog. We're going to take 5 breaths in downward dog. And walk or hop to the front of your mat, trying not to break your nose as you do it. Inhale up to chair position, and inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And let me just say, as we pause between sides, that this is your practice, so you choose how far do you make it. If some of the sequences are pushing beyond where your body is comfortable, then you are the one that decides that you are not going to go that far. And the wonderful thing about self-isolation is that you are the only one who knows that, or maybe me because I'm watching, but I'm not going to tell. And I will be much happier to know that you're not pushing. And that really, truly, truly, this is your practice. I want you to do what feels good in your body. And if you want to push, just make sure that you're pushing because that's what your body is asking for, not because you have a preconceived notion of a need to push harder. Do what you feel is being called for you to do. So that's my public service announcement for today. And now we will go on with the second side. So taking a deep breath in. Exhale. Deep. Release breath out. Inhale halfway up. Exhale all the way down. Take the left foot back, the right foot back, coming into plank pose, halfway down. And remembering how we do chaturanga, elbows at the side, shoulder blades down. Inhale, taking the body through the arms, chest comes through, gaze is up, shoulder blades are down the back, pulling the belly in. At this point, the toes are coming under, and we're pulling the belly, hips are coming back. We're pressing back into downward dog. Our feet, our heels are pressing down toward the ground. The eyes of our elbows are pressing out toward the front of our mats. And then we're taking now the left foot forward, lifting our bodies up, our bellies up, taking the left foot forward and between the feet. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, taking the hands behind us, interlacing, taking the chest up. Exhaling, coming down into humble warrior, hands up overhead. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, down into humble warrior. Inhale, up, chest up, overhead. One more time. Down into humble warrior. Staying down, arms up, overhead. turning your heel up to come into crescent pose. We're going to take our hands down on the inside of our left foot. And here's where you have all those choices. You can bring your knee down for support. You can keep your knee up. You can bring your, come down on your forearms for that extra stretch in your heels. In your heels and your hips. Or you can stay up with your knee down for support. Whichever position you choose the one that feels best in your body but is giving you some stretch. You want some stretch. So I'm going to choose the one that's going to open up my hips the most, which means coming down. And I'm going to pull my shin into my knee. And then we're going to move around in this circle. First going counterclockwise, like this. And then going clockwise, so that we're sort of stirring the pot with our left leg. Our foot is in the mess, as it were, our left foot, and we're stirring the pot. And then we come back up. And take the right foot back, coming into warrior one position, opening up into warrior two, and back into reverse warrior. Warrior one, warrior two. Did we do? Well, we'll do it on the side. Extended side angle. Warrior two. Windmill your hands down to the ground. Take your left foot back, down into chaturanga, remembering how your chest comes forward, and press back to downward dog for 5 breaths. So we did a lot of hip openers just now. We're going to do a very quick pigeon. Teeny little bit of more hip opener, just because it's Easter, so it's good to be open. Take your right leg up, bring it forward. As you bring it forward, take your knee up towards your belly, lifting up, and then taking your shin, so your shin is across your body, and then remember those pigeons we used to see in the park, lifting up, taking your belly down, across the mat, onto the mat. And I said it's going to be short, so we're coming back up already. Pressing back into downward dog. And then taking the left leg up. And then pulling the belly in, rounding your back. Taking the left shin across the body. And taking your body across the shin. Hands go out long. And then we come back up. Walk to the middle of your mat, come to a seated position. And we will return to our prayers, turning to Tom, who will lead us in prayer. Let's take a moment, though, to settle ourselves as we move from movement to spiritual, or it's all spiritual, but as we move from movement to seated prayer. And tonight we're going to add a new piece of our time together. We're going to add a time for you to say a prayer for the people in your world and the people in our world whom you would like to say a prayer for. We've been doing that. We did that previously when we were all in the church together, when we lit the candles, and we had a set of candles that we could light that I lit for us this time, but I lit them at the beginning of our time together, and as you can see, they've all burned down. But I lit them, actually I lit them for you all, thinking of you all as I lit each candle. And now we're going to say a prayer, and I hope you will think, as we say it, of someone whom you would like to say a prayer for, and next time perhaps bring a candle and light it at this point in our time together as we say this prayer, because we're going to do this each time.
Holy One, in your life we receive life. Raise us to the new life of grace. You look with compassion on our human failings. Raise us to the new life of grace. We pray for those who are sick, for those who are bereaved, for those who are anxious and afraid, for those alone and isolated, for the medical professionals and healthcare workers around the world. We proclaim the hope of your resurrection as we offer you these prayers. Amen.
And now we will continue with our prayer, our poem by Mary Oliver, which Tom will read.
Every morning the world is created. Under the orange sticks of the sun, the heaped ashes of the night turn into leaves again and fasten themselves to the high branches. And the ponds appear like black cloth on which are painted islands of summer lilies. If it is your nature to be happy, you will swim away along the soft trails for hours, your imagination alighting everywhere. And if your spirit carries within it the thorn that is heavier than lead, if it's all you can do to keep on trudging, there is still somewhere deep within you a beast shouting that the earth is exactly what it wanted. Each pond with its blazing lilies is a prayer heard and answered lavishly every morning. Whether or not you have dared to be happy, whether or not you have ever dared to pray.
And now let's find a space to move to the poem, to perhaps find the beast that is within, to perhaps find the blazing lily, to simply move with our arms, to move with our bodies, to move with our torsos, to move with our necks that are stiff or loose, our shoulders, and I will read the poem and invite you to move as the words call you. Every morning the world is created. Under the orange sticks of the sun, the heaped ashes of the night turn into the leaves again and fasten themselves to the high branches. And the ponds appear like black cloth on which are painted islands of summer lilies. If it is your nature to be happy, you will swim away along the soft trails for hours, your imagination alighting everywhere. And if your spirit carries within it the thorn that is heavier than lead, if it's all you can do to keep on trudging, there is still somewhere deep within you a beast shouting that the earth is exactly what it wanted. Each pond with its blazing lilies is a prayer heard and answered lavishly. Every morning, whether or not you have ever dared to be happy, whether or not you have ever dared to pray. Now let's come back to stillness, to a seated position. And we'll do a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing. Taking our right thumb to our right nostril, our left pointer finger our right pointer finger or right pinky finger to our left nostril. Breathing in through the left nostril. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. And exhaling through the left. And take your hands down onto your thighs, keeping your eyes closed. With your eyes closed, recall your intention. Breathe it in, saying it to yourself in the present tense. Exhaling out any doubt about your intention. And then opening your eyes, and let's come seated with our legs out on our mats. Taking our arms up overhead and bending forward. Taking our bellies down towards our thighs, our arms out towards our feet. Feeling the nice long stretch along your lower back. Extending out towards your neck. Your head's down towards your shins. Inhale your arms all the way back up overhead. Lifting your arms all the way up as high as you can. Exhale, folding forward, hands out towards your feet. Inhale, back up. Exhale, coming back towards your feet. Inhale, back up. Then bring your hands back. Take your left leg out. Bring your right heel into your left thigh. Turn to look at your left toes. And then we're going to lift up, really lifting the spine up, head up, all the way up to the ceiling. And then we're going all the way up and facing down toward the toes. And if your body only reaches, your toes seem very far away, and your fingers only kind of go to here, to your shin, that's fine. But try not to do this. Try to extend your spine long. And if it only comes to here, that's great. That's fine, that's perfect. But don't do this thing as sort of a way to cheat, because that's not gonna extend, that's never gonna get you here. You want to be lengthening the hamstrings, you want to be lengthening the lower back, and the way to do that is to practice even if it seems like you're not getting there in the short term. So lengthening here in the hamstrings, lengthening here in the lower back and in the belly, and then coming just as far as that takes you. And then eventually, you'll get here. And coming back up. And then today we're going to do a little gate pose. So we're going to take our left arm down, laying it down onto the left leg. Take our right arm up and over, taking it over towards the right toes. They may not reach. You may just sort of do this sort of sideways opening. Or you may take your right arm all the way up and over like this. And coming up. And then taking the opposite leg out. So you take your right leg out, left heel comes in, turning to face your right toes. Inhale up, same drill. You are lifting up, folding at the hips, not at the waist. Inhale, arms up, fold over, hands to the feet. Inhale, coming up, taking gate pose on the other side. Right arm down on the right shin. Inhale, left arm up, and your heart is opening up towards the sky. So this is a gate pose, because it looks like a gate, but also because you're sort of turning your body like a gate, like you're opening up your body. And then taking the left arm up and over. And then if you can, it's coming and reaching toward the toes, the right toes. And eventually, one day, the left hand will reach the right toes. And then up we come. And then we do our twist, bending the right knee. Right heel to the opposite side of the body, left arm up, left elbow crosses. Look over your right elbow and right shoulder. Right leg long, left knee bends, belly in, left hand down, arms up. Let right elbow down, looking over. And then let's roll onto our backs. So you're coming onto your back, hugging yourself, giving yourself a big hug. And And then crossing your knees, taking your hands, one more little hip stretch. So you're taking your hands between your legs, interlacing your fingers, pulling your left thigh toward you, other way. Pulling your right thigh towards you, your left thigh away from you. And then we're going to sit here, and I'm going to ask you to keep your feet pressed down into the ground and open your heart up. So the way you open your heart here is you can take a rolled up towel and you can actually place it beneath your, lengthwise beneath you. And I don't have one, but you imagine that you're taking your chest and you're lifting your heart up, your chest up, and you're placing it between your shoulder blades. So, but imagine that you are looking up to the sky, and you're opening, you want to open your chest up, you want to open your heart up, and you want to open yourself up to this final prayer. And you're lying on your back, opening yourself up to this prayer, and you're drawing your shoulder blades in, and you're putting your feet down onto the ground for support in this. So that's where we are. That's the position you're taking. So let's all do that, and then close our eyes so that we can really hear this prayer.
Lord, it is night. Night is for stillness. Let us be still in the presence of God. It is night after a long day. What has been done has been done. What has not been done has not been done. Let it be. The night is dark. Let our fears of the darkness of the world and of our own lives rest in you. Night is quiet. Let the quietness of your peace enfold us, all dear to us and all who have no peace. The night heralds the dawn. Let us look expectantly to a new day, new joys, new possibilities. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now we're going to listen to our poem one more time. This time, as you listen, open your heart for a word that speaks to you. At the end of the poem, I will unmute you, and I ask you, as you feel called, to speak out the word loudly enough so that everyone else on the Zoom call can hear you. If you are listening to this recording later, please just call out your word so that it enters into the space around you, so that it becomes part of the common prayer of all those who have taken part in this yoga and evening prayer. Now let's close our eyes, still our hearts, and listen for the word.
Every morning the world is created. Under the orange sticks of the sun, the heaped ashes of the night turn into leaves again and fasten themselves to the high branches. And the ponds appear like black cloth on which are painted islands of summer lilies. If it is your nature to be happy, you will swim away along the soft trails for hours, your imagination alighting everywhere. And if your spirit carries within it the thorn that is heavier than lead, if it is all you can do to keep on trudging, there is still somewhere deep within you a beast shouting that the earth is exactly what it wanted. Each pond with its blazing lilies is a prayer heard and answered lavishly every morning. Whether or not you ever dared to be happy, whether or not you have ever dared to pray.
Now allow your body to completely relax as we enter into Shavasana for the next 2 minutes. Letting your breath soften, taking a blanket over you if you wish. Now begin to wiggle your toes and your feet. Wiggle your fingers, move your hands, maybe your shoulders. Come up to a seated position. As we all come up to a seated position. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the watching shepherds to you. Deep peace of the Son of Peace to you. Amen and namaste. Thank you, everybody, and I can't wait to see you next time.